atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage, all got perspective. It's a collective, get to the bottom what the truth is, with our hearts uncovered, where you detox from all of the lies you smothered, what them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off, never said it'd be a cakewalk, meditate till we charged up, execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal, breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe, so down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing, and watch it all rise. The righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring, because it's unseen. The mind is too barren. They won't even heal it. They pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen, hey. Yeah.
We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental, how clean is a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Steering this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation, rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.
Peace, everyone. Welcome to the People's Podcast, the ears that will listen and where your opinion matters. Carrying pain so heavily that it feels frozen. The world keeps moving, yet inside grief and trauma holds you in the same place. It speaks to survival, not weakness. The pause that happens when the pain hasn't been given a space to heal. I am Universe Badger, and today we converse in a title called The Weight That Stops Time.
I am Moon Tortoise. Welcome. We are talking about trauma and grief, how they linger, how they reshape us, how they can quietly freeze parts of our lives without warning. And before we begin, we want to thank our sponsor, Shimmerwood CBD Infused Altered Beverages. Shimmerwood is crafted to support calm moments, intentional pauses, and balance in a world that rarely slows down. You can get 30% off our order with the promo code THEPEOPLE. Now, let's step into this conversation together.
Welcome, DDH the Bubble. And Love Chat Buttons.
Oh, yeah.
Peace. So before we get into the questions, We were talking backstage before we started the live, and we were talking about addiction, and we were talking about why people become addicts. And I think all addiction comes from the same place. It's either it's a food addiction or a sex addiction or drug addiction or drinking. I think it all stems from pain and trauma and trying to fulfill a void. So next week we're going to talk about it. We're going to dig deeper into it than just touching the surface. We're going to really dig down and figure out what part of the brain you're trying to get those dopamines from, and what are you trying to fulfill by this addiction. And then we're going to talk also on Thursday with Love Shop Buttons about the epidemic that's going around. It's not just in Canada, it's everywhere. And how you just stumble across needles in your backyard and stuff like that. We're just going to really dig into addiction next week. So everybody tune in. But the first question will be tonight. When did you first realize grief was affecting more than just your emotions? Moon Tortoise. Have you dealt with grief before?
Yeah, I did. I am right now, actually. Differently, though. Crazy different. The first time when my mom passed, it was a super violent and passing. It was super abrupt, which I've probably said on here before. And to help myself get through that, I hung out with friends and I drank heavy, like aggressive drinking. And the toll that took on my body was really heavy. Like my back is sore right now because right after my mom died, I drank so much. I just grabbed my van and left this party and just smashed into this guardrail going like 50 miles an hour and like blew my windshield, bubbled it all out, and then fell back into the truck and pretty much just spilled out. Like I couldn't believe I was alive. And yeah, that hurt really bad. So jail helped that. The hard floor reset my back. So yeah, the emotional and physical tolls of grief and not processing it correctly have been devastating.
So, Love Chops, I know you dealt with grief also. When did you first realize grief was affecting more than just your emotions?
I would say 3 years after my brother passed away affected me more differently than most. The fact I witnessed it firsthand trying to revive his life. So it's affected me completely differently than most people would fully understand for finding him. So that's a whole nother dilemma and scenario for witnessing it firsthand. So it's just one of those things.
So for me, I didn't cry. I didn't cry when my mom passed. I show no emotion with that kind of stuff. It wasn't that. It was more of a she was gone before she was gone to me. She never really was there as much as I wanted her to be there. And I dealt with grief differently. It wasn't crying, it wasn't sadness. It was more of a putting a wall up and shutting people out. And just really not loving me properly. Like my grief was different. It was never really emotional. It was more of a physical thing. I physically didn't know how to act. And I took it out on myself. And I was self-harming to me. And I tried to fulfill so much stuff. Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. Now that I look back at it, it took a lot of time. Time really did stop for me. I don't remember moments. And then I surrounded myself around someone who was a alcoholic and had a trauma bond, and realized that a lot of time was spent with feeling like poisoning ourselves and just not properly dealing with pain, you know?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I got a question for you and really the board. Are you at all familiar with the stages, like the 5 stages of grief? And do you feel as though you went through them or used them to process it?
I don't know what the 5 stages are.
No,
No.
it is. It is like the Kubler-Ross model. That's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. And breaking those down does help to contextualize what you're going through and the responses that you do. It's not always the same, but similar.
So for me, my grief wasn't losing somebody, it was me. It was what I'd done to me and how I lost me. It wasn't, my grief wasn't because of somebody else. It was mostly for me. I was kind of grieving the life that I thought I should have had and that I didn't get to have. And it was weird. It was hard. It's hard to explain. Mine was hard to explain because my grief wasn't for another person. I didn't grieve nobody's death of another person. I never have. My aunt was probably the only one that really affected me where I cried because that was the only one that really loved me. I think I did go through those 5 steps, but it was mostly for myself.
I think those steps can apply to a few different things too. I mean, even they give you a grieving or PTSD or something that has caused you great trauma. And hi, SGF. And Kendall too, if you wanted to answer that. I threw that out to the world. Love chop.
I'm sorry, what was the statement?
It was a question.
I just asked if you know the 5 stages of grief and if you realize that you went through them or any particular that affected you.
I would say I've done quite the opposite for how it affected me because I was all over the place with all that stuff. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better. So it's very different for me, I would say.
You know, one of the stages they said was denial. Did you ever go through denial, Love Chops?
Oh, yes. Denial was the first thing I've witnessed firsthand. I didn't know. I didn't know what the stages were either. So it was just one of those things where my emotions were pretty much all over. It's either self-hate or hating on everyone. I was pretty much mad at myself, I would say, I think. It's kind of hard to remember because it's kind of like a blurb. So for the past 3 years, I was really, really pissed off. That's all I can remember.
That's the second one.
Yeah, no, it is. I think she went through those phases without realizing that she went through those phases.
It's a subconscious type of thing most often. It's a response type thing that we don't realize that we're doing. It kind of falls in a pattern.
So FJF Graham, we're talking about grief and trauma and how it stops time. So your question would be, how does trauma show up in people's daily routines, do you think?
When they get triggered by things, that's one of the biggest ones. You could say something. I've triggered an awful lot of people by saying stupid. They'll rather I call them an idiot, whatever, because somebody in their life used to call them stupid before they put hands on them, whatever. So that word holds a negative connotation to them. Well, it's always negative, but extra negative now. Whatever, so usually something of that nature.
Good point.
Yeah, and that's a good answer too. Love Chop, does it feel like when time seems frozen inside of you?
I would think so, because when it comes to that type of healing, it really doesn't stop for anyone, but it still goes on without the realization of things. So I would assume so. I think. I'm not too sure how to answer that.
Yeah, I would agree with you too, because there's not really a good answer to that one, but it seems like it would, because like I said, I don't feel like I wasted a lot of times. I just feel like it was misused. It wasn't properly used. So, how about this one, Moon Tortoise? Have you ever felt pressure to move on before you were ready?
Uh, yeah, with everything. And I don't think that's a common problem for everybody. I think that's kind of a me problem. But there's a reason why I ended up with Tortoise, I guess, in my name, is because I guess as life has went on, I've wanted to take more time with things. And I've noticed that the world just kind of moves really fast. I think it moves even faster now, right? And I don't know. I feel weird about it, kind of. It's I feel like we got a lot of pressure to keep moving, and that gives me a lot of anxiety. I've said like I wanted to find like a monastery somewhere where I could just get a rake and rake the sand until it's flat, and then rake the sand into a different formation. I don't know. Seemed nice, but
So my question is, how does unprocessed grief impact relationships? Well, SGF Graham said a good thing about triggers. That's one too. A lot of people will. I've noticed that unprocessed grief and trauma, when you haven't really slowly, or not slowly, but when you haven't really looked into it and evolved exactly, you have to allow it to breathe. You have to bring it to surface. You have to allow it to have a place and really let it be for what it is, and then try to fix it. And when you try to mask it and try to overlook it and just say, oh no, I'm okay, I'm healed, you're not really healing. You're putting a band-aid over a bullet hole. You really have to be able to figure out what you are healing. I didn't know for the longest time so much stuff about myself until I really started digging deep inside myself, and someone had brought some things to my attention, and it triggered me and it got me upset. And I'm like, oh, you're just saying I'm this, and then they like, that's not what I mean. And then I felt attacked all the time. And then when I finally started looking inside of it and start really honestly looking at what they're saying, they were right. They were right on so many levels, but yet I wasn't ready to see it yet. I wasn't ready to face it yet, because I didn't feel like I fully allowed it to be what it is. And once you allow that, whatever that is that you're grieving or that trauma that you're from, you allow it to be what it's supposed to be without sweeping it under the rug and forgetting about it, you can look down deep into it and realize what caused it. Then you can start digging deeper and figure out what was the root cause of this and how can I heal it. I
there's
realized
exactly.
oh yeah, I realized a lot of things that I didn't realize about myself because I wasn't ready to look at myself. And a lot of people are that way. I've noticed that when they start reflecting and say, oh, this is what you think of me. No, that must be what you think of you. You can't tell somebody else what they think of you, because unless they tell you that that's how they're feeling, you don't have a right to say that to somebody. I've been called so many things, and I didn't realize that they were me, and that's how I was acting until I was able to do that shadow work and look inside myself. It's not fair. It's not fair to get into a relationship and um, dump it all onto somebody else as if it's their problem. I was doing that a lot. So, SGF Graham, um, what emotion what emotion feels hardest to name when loss is involved?
Lost as in passing away.
It could be both. It could be loss of self, loss of passing away, or no longer with you. You still here? Can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
You might have to leave and come back. We're gonna ask the next question then, and then we'll get back to him. What does trauma, Moon Tortoise, what does trauma live in the body? Or how does trauma live in the body, not just in the mind?
How does trauma live in the body and not just in the mind? You carry it with you. You know, it's like stress. Stress is a mental thing, and it affects it affects and we regulate ourselves. So kind of the tolls your
You're
pressures
glitching.
go through.
You're glitching.
You can just keep stressing.
No, you glitched the whole time. No. Crazy. What's going on with technology right now? You were glitching.
It's glitching up so bad on me.
You're glitching.
Can you hear me? How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Like stress, we carry things inside. We do a bunch of drugs to let grief. So mad.
Yeah. Say it again.
I don't want to. I'm scared.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying it again. It's like stress. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's like stress. You hold it inside you and carry it, and it affects everything. All your organs, everything. You don't have to just abuse substances to let it destroy you. The stress can really weaken everything inside of you. I hope that was the right answer to the right question.
It said, how did trauma live in your body, not just your mind? So, yeah. SGF Graham, are you with us now? No, you got to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm with y'all.
Okay.
Super
So,
My daughter called in, and it seemed like every time somebody called in, I have to reset.
yeah.
Yes.
So they wanted to know when emotion feels the hardest to name. What emotion feels the hardest to name when loss is involved?
Death or somebody just don't want to be around anymore.
Yeah.
That one, the second one.
What emotions feels hardest to name when loss is involved?
Just loss in general. Whatever feeling come with, leave me alone. Whatever that's involved with. Well, because I feel a whole lot of that right about that time. You know, let me process it. You know, if it's lost like somebody passing away, you know, this ain't the time for me to be here, and I know how you feel and all that crap or whatever. You know, let me process this or whatever. You know, if it's lost like somebody don't want to be around me anymore, I don't have no loss for words for that. That's they loss. But back in the day, I would have. But my current state, nah, I don't even have no feelings about it. It's just paths taken. It is what it is.
I get that. Love Chops. What coping habits helped you survive even if they no longer serve you?
Oh boy. There's quite a few that no longer serves me. I would say the lack of sleep is catching up to me. I've been having a hard time sleeping a lot lately, so I'm trying to figure that part out. It's why I'm not sleeping. So if I'm not sleeping, I'm figuring it could be either trauma related, stress related, over worried with everything else that's going on with my life. Um, Talking to the wrong people that doesn't serve me either. So it's a whole collaboration of what I'm not doing properly, or it's just one of those things where I'm still learning on the go. Um, that no longer serves me. I don't know.
My question is, when did you notice avoidance showing up in your healing journey? Um, Early on, mostly self-avoidance. I avoided a lot of things within myself. I avoided so much stuff because I rather have reflected and blamed other people for what was going on. Because taking responsibility and being mindful of yourself is really hard, because we hold ourselves in contempt so much that when you start being vulnerable enough to really start looking at for what it really truly is and unwrapping everything, it's ugly and raw. And a lot of people still can't deal with it. I will say things about myself and say this is how I was, and a lot of people are say don't say that about you. I've done that to Moon Tortoise before. Moon Tortoise would say things about himself, and I would say, "Don't say that about you." And then I realized that we're allowed to speak on ourselves if it's not a negative connotation of how we see things. And for someone else to tell us no, that's how we're healing. That's how we're unwrapping things and we're seeing things so that we can evolve. We're not putting ourselves down. And I say we because once he explained it to me, I said, yeah, that's exactly how I feel too. But I wasn't putting myself down to not love me. No, I loved me more than ever. I was just being honest of what I seen was going on within myself. But avoidance was huge because I avoided a lot of different situations and avoided a lot of people because I wasn't ready. SGF Graham, do you have something to say?
My ADHD.
Oh, and so he kicked out too. Dang. The ADHD kicked in and he kicked out.
Jeez.
So, yeah. So, Moon Tortoise, what does healing actually look like for you right now?
It's the little audio ripples around my bubble. I like that. It feels good. No. What does healing look like for me right now?
Yeah.
This it's something I've worked on really hard. Healing for me is not feeling pain, I guess. I don't know. Been a really weird walk through existence, and walking, it just feels like I'm not going over mountains. Kind of hard feeling. I don't know. Hard to explain that. What does healing look like to me? It's progress. It's, I don't know, a feeling.
Love Chops, how does silence around grief make the weight heavier?
It's depending on how you want to see the silence within yourself or for those around you. Silence for me is my peace and my protection right now. Especially for the silence parts, I tend to go very quiet. I'm one of those very quiet people where I just absorb things, reflect. I go for my walks, I do my paintings, whatever it may be, just to get my mind out of my mind. So it's that phase where I refuse to go back into that type of depression, where I'm lashing out so hard to move forwards and not go backwards. So silence for me is my way of I'm okay with myself right now, and that's a good way to be.
Ask Jeff Graham, how do you give yourself permission to feel without judgment?
How do I give myself permission
To
to
feel
feel
without,
without judgment?
yes.
I don't I don't know if I really understand that question. Say it one more time.
How do you give yourself permission to feel without judgment?
Just do it. I guess that's why I'm confused. I don't know how you give yourself permission. You just do it.
I'm curious too, as if like, should I do this? Is this right or wrong? Did I do something that kind of along those lines? Maybe.
Maybe.
Nobody can tell me how to react. What do you know,
Period.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
No, for real, for real. Like that's for real. That's how it goes. No one can tell you how to act. Grief and trauma comes in so many phases and stages that nobody can tell you what it should look like.
now I do believe that you shouldn't live in it, but immediate impact. Everybody loves somebody at a different rate. Or whether we're not gonna feel the same way about the same person or the same thing or whatever is going on. So what made my heartstring move mm, didn't make your heartstring move. That's okay. So you don't feel what I feel, so you can't tell me how to react to this whole situation. I'm just a reactor in it. You know,
Mm. Yeah, no, I agree. I like that answer. I agree completely.
I'll be
Moon
right
tortoise.
back. Oh no,
Okay.
you asked me a question, and then I'll be back, party people. What's up? I'm gonna
How
answer.
does how does trauma affect your sense of time and future planning?
I have to get up during a podcast to do something I neglected to do earlier. This is a trauma response due to having bad organizational skills from coming from a weird environment where it was a hoarding situation. Uh, yeah. How about that? Does that work?
Yeah, I can tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, time management is something that has been horribly affected by, kind of past occurrences and maybe a little bit of just bad wiring on somebody's account. But I really try, and that's the difference. I've even began to start writing things down. It is scribbled haphazard on different pages, but I managed to keep it within the confines of one small notebook, and for that, I'm truly impressed. I will be right back.
Okay. So, love chaps, what small step has helped you feel movement again?
Besides tripping constantly, but that's just me. Small steps, right? It's by basically waking up every morning, just making sure I'm still breathing. So that really counts at this moment. Um, it's just the small things that I tend to do, like go take a shower, go eat something, go make yourself a cup of tea, um, go drink some water, remind yourself to go for a walk. It's just the little things that can add up to a big thing for what you want to do for the small steps, whatever the habits or recognitions may be for you. You're still able to do those things, and the small little tasks do count. So there's many varieties of it.
So, my question is, what would you say to someone stuck in the same emotional place you once were? A bunch. One thing, though, I know that you can't really say nothing to someone who's not ready to see it. They have to be wanting it. It's just like anybody who's ready to quit something. It has to be their terms, or they're not going to receive it properly because they're just going to take it as you're attacking them or you think you're better than them, or above them. I've realized in life, I've met people in the trauma that I was in. I've left people in the trauma that I'm no longer in because they weren't ready to go. I cannot worry about what happened yesterday. I can't worry about I can't I can't worry about I hear the Canadian. I can't worry about yesterday. I can't worry about things that are not here yet. I made a post today saying that I'm not trying to be a better version of me. I'm trying to remove myself from belief systems and emotions that are not of me so I can free myself. I can't tell nobody anything that they're not ready to hear. If they're ready to receive it, I will tell them. It starts with you. You have to see where the pain is. You have to see where your problem is. You have to notice it. You can't have someone else tell you it because you're not going to realize it. It has to be something you see. And you're not going to see it unless you're ready to see it. SGF Graham, what would you say to somebody stuck in the same emotional places you once were?
Probably the same thing you said.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get out of it when you're ready to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I might say a little bit more to try to get them out of it, but if they was in the mind state that I once was, they probably feel doomed at one point in time or whatever, maybe at that particular time. So talking to them ain't really doing nothing but pissing them off. Like people that was talking to me then, I wasn't hearing it. Whether, like I didn't hear it, I didn't feel like I had the answers, but I definitely didn't feel like they did. Whether, like so I wasn't even hearing it. Whatever, just for me to grow up later and finally get to a level when I was ready to receive and realize they've been smacking me with the stuff that I could have chilled out and learned years ago if I wasn't, I guess, young and full of testosterone. So
Yeah. Ego and pride. I'd say to them, remove your ego and pride if you really want to grow. That's it. What would you say, Moon Tortoise, to somebody who is stuck in the same position that you once were in emotionally?
Oh, identify what's the problem because you probably have a problem. Identify the problems and then come up with a realistic way of taking care of those problems. And it could be such a big answer. Try looking outside the box. Try talking to people. It's yeah, I would just you gotta identify the problem and you gotta stop it before it kills you. Because if you're having that many problems because of it's some kind of centralized issue in your life, or maybe you're trying to get over something. Maybe you're suffering from PTSD. Still, you need to find a way to cope with it and remove yourself from situations that are going to trigger you and hurt yourself if you can. Yeah, it's hard. It ain't easy. It's worth it.
sure, my favorite thing to say to people, honestly, in that situation, especially if it was like a blow up that didn't have nothing that what was going on didn't cause for how where it went. Like just saying, dang, who did that to you? Them simple words right there. Everybody gonna look and think it's personal or whatever. But believe it or not, more times than not, I done had people come because usually people will laugh like, boy, there he go tripping, talking in code again. Or whatever, I'll be like, yeah, you gotta figure that out who did that to you because there wasn't nobody in this room or whatever. And more times than not, well, they'll come back later. They be like, yeah, yeah, that was funny what you said, but real talk, it made me think about some shit. And yeah, yeah, bro, I really needed that or whatever. Like I know, ain't nobody wasn't no need for me to take that personal. Well, I could tell how it went. Yeah, that ain't had nothing to do with nobody in the room. You just had to get that off. But it's hard for a lot of people to discern between that. They actually think it's an attack. And I'm like, nah, you gotta check the situation. We was all joking. How did it blow up to that? That energy was looking for something negative to grab a hold of too, and it just made up something that had nothing to do with us. Whatever, you know.
I like that. I like what you said earlier about the stupid thing. I've heard people like react to certain words and seemingly small things very, very adversely because it had some kind of huge part in their past. You're like, well, I just called you stupid. That could have been something that, yeah, like you said, their parents or something called them for years and beat into their head. Like, who knows, you know?
Exactly, because down here growing up, when somebody would do something funny or crazy or whatever, we were like, boy, you stupid, girl, you stupid. Or, you know, well, like it was funny or whatever, you know. And one of my close girlfriends, I had to all friend girls, I had to remind myself not to say that because she be like, don't say that. I'm like, man, my bad, my bad. Like, she really meant it though, like, don't say that. Or whatever, you know, like.
Hi, TT.
So there's a ways that you can help remove triggers. And is it your responsibility to? Well, if you want to help somebody, first they have to identify the trigger. They have to notice what set them off. Then they have to, after your awareness, then it turns to confusion into clarity. So now they're not confused anymore. Now they're going to look and they're going to really think that, okay, this is why I'm triggered. Then you have to separate the past from the present. You got to realize what was happening then is not happening now. And then you have to calm the body down from the triggers. And it's a nervous system thing because your mind goes into fight or flight mode. Then you have to replace the old response instead of reacting automatically with calmness, choosing a new action, speak instead of shutting down or exploding. Then you have to restore control. Repeat with compassion. Triggers fade through repetition, not force. Each self-experience teaches the system something new. Everything that we go through is something that we grow through. And thank you, Love Chaps. Everything that we grow through is something that we have to realize there's a lesson here. And once you start living in the now and removing those feelings and emotion and pride and ego and just being, everything happens for a reason, even the shitty stuff. Honestly. You can ask why if you want to, but getting a definite answer will be hard because a lot of things, there's no why right then and there. And then later on, you can sit back and look and be like, oh, that's why. But you got to trust in the process. You got to trust in that process and realize that it had to happen. It had to happen for you to grow. I'm grateful for all the bad things that have happened in my life, not because I want them to happen, and again, because they no longer will. I'm grateful that I learned to love myself through it, that I will never have to grow through it again. That will never happen again to me. None of that stuff will ever happen again to me. Because now I know. You know, they say that if you would have known ahead of time, would you have done things differently? And a lot of people say yes. And a lot of people say no. I don't think the knowing part would change the outcome, honestly.
It's an impossible question.
Because people know things. They know that eating that, drinking that, doing that act, shooting up with that may be that time that it will take you out, and they still do it. I don't think knowing is going to change the outcome. People just want to feel better by doing what they do. Because
I had something. I knew this kid who got really super abused by his well, he got really abused and then ended up in the wrong crowd and ended up catching himself a life sentence at like 17. And I talked to him, and he's my sobriety buddy. He's got grief, trauma, triggers, everything you could possibly imagine. And not only that, but he's got all the time to think about it. Now, what's cool about that is, for one thing, at the beginning of what you said, he went and he learned. He's in school right now, and he is passing with flying colors in Spanish and world religions. And he wanted to tell everybody on the panel, you know, despite him in prison having a life sentence and being really upset and triggered by everything, instead he said, you guys should focus on the importance of learning a second language. Any of them. It's really good. It's really good for your brain. So, you know, that's what I like to impart is words from this guy, because he's got every reason in the world to be completely destroyed about life. But we have great talks all the time. And life actually feels normal when I talk to that guy a lot of the time. Wild.
I think if people stop asking why on a lot of different things and start taking it for what it is and living in the moment through whatever that why is, you'll have better understanding. You'll have better, control. Control. The hardest thing to have control over is yourself. We're ticking time bombs. Some of us are. And then some of us are peace clocks. No matter what you do to them, we're just going to keep ticking.
I like that. That's fun.
I don't know. What can we do when I get it? Pain sucks. I get it. Trauma sucks. I get it. Grief sucks. I get it. Losing someone that you really loved and didn't expect them to go so soon really sucks. I know an amazing person. He's from Jamaica. He had 2 children. One died at 3 months old, and the other one died at 17 on their way home from their graduation pictures or senior pictures. The bus got into an accident and they flew off the bus. Very high, very energy person, very happy person, love life, give the shirt off your back kind of person. Still. Because they realized that, you know, things happened that was out of their control. What could you tell somebody, Love Chops, that is dealing with grief, dealing with the emotions that you once held on to?
You know what saying goes, it's give yourself time and grace. You can't be so hard on yourself constantly when you're dealing with constant emotions. You're allowed to feel what you feel, so don't let anyone tell you otherwise that you can't heal. It's just between you and yourself, basically. You'll know.
Moon Tortoise, how do we hold space for grief without letting it define our entire identity?
How do we hold space for it?
Yeah.
I find the best time to process things are by myself. And when I do that, I often channel it into some kind of creative outlet. But I get overwhelmed in public. So that's just personally how I do it. So I guess kind of finding a good outlet to get to that last, step, that acceptance step, and maintain that is that's good. That's going to be tantamount to your success.
I want to walk around the world and ask people, why do they think they're here? And I want to hear everybody's response. That's all. I just want to hear it. SGF Graham, how do we hold space for grief without letting it define our entire identity?
I don't even know. People are different. Sure. I just find other things to do. I keep busy. Or whatever. I don't do nothing extra strenuous, but I be zombied out on video games, trying to keep my mind from it, or watching something funny, or hanging around positive people, which don't give me kind of space to be negative. And I don't live in it. I don't. Where I get out of it ASAP. So I can't speak for other people's now. Now, like life passing, like I said, I ain't no telling how I'd react. The way I reacted when my cousin passed, I never reacted that way with nobody, or whatever, So, I sometimes I don't even think I got over that yet, or whatever. It is what it is on it, or whatever. You can't change it, can't fight it. You know, just let it happen when it happens. So I guess I might be the wrong person for that question.
Yeah, I'm not good at when people pass neither. I don't know what to say to people. I look at life differently, so I'm not want to ask and saying when people pass. I honestly can't tell you. I'm not going to pray for you, and I don't want you to pray for me, to be honest with you, because I don't know who you're praying to or what you're praying to. And a lot of people may be praying on your downfall, and they're spells. Words are spells. So for me, I don't know what to say. It's not a loss to me because energy never dies. It just shifts and transfers into different forms and frequencies. I believe it's a choice that a lot of people end up making. Their soul ends up making that choice of a contract. I'm not really good at it either. Um, I don't know what to say neither. Moon Tortoise, what would you say? How do you
Oh,
hold grief without letting it define your entire? Did I ask you that first?
yeah, I think you actually did. Yeah.
How about you, Love Chops? How do you hold space for grief without letting it define your entire being, identity?
Uh, Honestly, I don't know how to answer that either. There really is no proper term for letting that define you. You just got to do the best you can for yourself.
So I guess because I've never heard or seen nobody be defined for it. I've seen people grieve with other people. Maybe if somebody boo-hooing a little too long over a relationship, you've been broke up with this person for 3 years and you still ain't went out there and dated yet because of this situation. All right, it's time to get up. But life passing, I mean, I've never seen nobody be really judged by it besides, dang, they really hurt. Like humans aren't that bad, I guess sometimes.
So we started talking about this subject because of the story that I read about Nikki Pop, a Warren female that unalived somebody because of the person that they were with didn't do anything about them drinking poppers. They allowed them to drink it and didn't call the cops and whatnot right after it happened. And they were depressed for 4 months and they wanted revenge, some kind of justice, not revenge, just some kind of justice. I can't say revenge. I apologize. That's not my place to say that. They wanted some kind of justice and they didn't feel that justice was served. The only reason why I could say that is because that's what was said from their mouth. And they took it upon themselves to lure that person back into their home and unalive that person and went live and had a standoff with the officers for 6 hours. And I get it. Some people think that, that this is your forever. This is your person that's going to be here with you forever, and that this is how your life is going to be forever. I get it. I get that people really believe that this is it. I can't relate to it. I do know what sadness looks like. I do know what depression looks like. I do know what loss looks like. I do know I've held the hands of so many people that have passed. And I've helped their family celebrate, not grieve. I don't know. Let's change the tempo, though. Let's put some positive message out there. Moon Tortoise. And then I want to hear what Tom Schul will say today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I even picked one out. My positive message. I've dealt with grief specifically from death now. The heaviest form of grief, loss of parents, in both aspects. One, I did everything wrong. And the second one it's hurt, but it's been very cathartic for me. It's been something that's taught me a lot and reshaped the entire course of my life for the next however many years I'll be going on. It's completely different. And it's because I began processing it a long time before. I did it in a healthy state. And I'm still doing it in a healthy and healed state, or at least doing my best to. And there's no other way to do it. Don't do it the first way. You can ask me about it, but don't do it the first way. It feels good as death can possibly feel this way. Get comfortable with yourself.
Positive. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Let's hear what he said.
Positive quotes first. We gotta do positive quotes first.
SGF Graham, positive message.
Oh, why you skip him?
We didn't. He did his positive message.
Oh, that was a reading. All right. Skip me.
Okay. Love Child's positive message.
You're allowed to feel what you feel. Give yourself time and grace to heal. Even though it might not never heal, it does happen eventually.
My positive message is don't stay in that moment. It's only dark because you're in the middle of the storm. Once you get through the storm, it'll get bright again. It may not feel the same. It won't replace the pain, but it won't be so heavy and so dark. Try to find joy in the situation instead of allowing the situation to take away from you. SGF Graham. Duck, duck, goose.
Yeah, y'all didn't take long enough for me. I don't have one.
Where's your book? Why don't you just get your book and open up your book and say something from your book?
Mine?
That's Henny's job.
He's gonna read from his dad's book, but where's your book?
We gotta split days then, because I wasn't ready. I gotta stop always having to be planned, but I definitely wasn't ready. I don't even know if I'm near my book. I'm just touching the book right now. I don't even know if it's the right one.
What's the prophet say?
Oh,
What was
so
that?
that's a manifestation. Hold on. That's a
That was
manifestation. But that's a 3-page manifestation that I do every night.
okay.
Yeah, you don't want to. I can say a little bit about mastering manifestation. External focus changing reality. Is that wrong or illusion? Reality is actually materialized frequency, and that is all you need. Manifestation is eternally shifting to a degree to which you are no longer emotionally dependent. So basically, you already have to feel like you already have it. Well, that's just a big fancy way to say you have to feel like you already have it before you receive it. And mainly the reason why, because when you feel like you already have it, you're gonna move in that direction. And whatever you feel like you already have this car, so you're gonna naturally, without even thinking about it, start to save up to get that car so you can match your own frequency. Whatever just gets you to work more in tune with what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So, what did Tom Schul say?
Oh, I cried over my dad today. I was going over pictures, so yeah, I was grieving today for sure. I miss him. It's hard. And what did he say? This is a story he wrote called "Humanity at Its Best," and it goes: I saw a man. He ran around yelling for help until he died. He was dressed wearing purple and had a large hat filled with pain. When I spoke, he only ran away. When he spoke, the heavens stopped and the trees listened.
Damn.
I miss him.
All right, Tom Schul. I get it. So, the weight that stops time. If this conversation resonates with you, know that you are not alone and you are not behind. Healing moves at its own pace. If you found value in today's episode, share it with someone who may need to hear it. Keep the conversations going in the comments and let your voice be heard. We also want to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Shimmerwood CBD Infused Seltzer Beverages, for supporting this space. Use our promo code ThePeople and get 30% off your order. This has been the People's Podcast, with the ears that will listen and where your opinion matters. Until next time, everyone, may your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations, filled with peace and love. Ashe.
Peace, peace.
Yeah.
In Love Job Buttons, Mom said hello. Hello, Kim from the family. Say peace.
She says hello back. She's on rest.
Okay.
Hope she feels better.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage, all got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is, where the heart's uncovered, where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yeah. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen, yeah, aiming to fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Hey. Yeah.
We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Snaring this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on, you tell the truth.